Chef Sarah Kirnon is the owner of Miss Ollie's, the popular Caribbean restaurant in Oakland that pays homage to her grandmother. She is also the creator of Sanctuary, a nonprofit project supporting Black chefs, artists, and creatives of all kinds. Sarah's style of cooking brings a spiritual experience, fluidly weaving inspiration from across the African diaspora and draws heavily from the foods she grew up eating and cooking with her family in Barbados, like kuku, saltfish, and aki, and always the curry goat. Sarah has been featured in numerous national and international publications with Miss Ollie's named one of the top 100 restaurants in the San Francisco Bay Area in 2018 and 2019. She's received many other accolades, but Sarah's work remains rooted in community. Sarah is inspired by the deep work of understanding her connection to family, food, spirituality, and healing. And she remains committed as ever to creating space for and celebrating the community that surrounds her. Sarah, please grant us the gift of your story.
So my craft is shaped by my history. I'm the daughter, the granddaughter, the great-granddaughter of many. I was raised in the beautiful island of Barbados. I was raised by a strong maternal family and a community of wonderful people and 7 great uncles who really had their hands on me growing up. And for all intents and purposes, up until I was 8 years old, my life was pretty happy-go-lucky. I was succeeding at school, I was in love with the land, and I was free to do whatever I wanted to. And when I thought about telling this story, this is a part of the story that you didn't say in my bio because it's part that I've left out. And I wonder why I kept leaving it out. And I think it was because it's such a big part of me and it's so vulnerable. But I believe that in order for me to succeed and be able to continue to do the work I do with my community, I need to share that story. So at 8 years old, as I was getting on with my regular 8-year-old self, I was unfortunately sexually abused by somebody in my community. And I remember when that happened, I completely shut down because I was an 8-year-old child. And the night after that happened, I actually lay with my uncle William Henry Holder. I laid on his chest and he held me. And the next day I felt like everything was going to be all right. And what saved me besides my uncle William was my ancestors came in and decided to send all of these sounds and all of these smells and all of these spirits from the land. And the land saved me. I became part of the land. The sugar cane would speak to me. The smells would speak to me. My sacrificing of chickens on Sunday evenings with my Uncle William was healing. My riding with him on the handlebars of his bicycle to the beach was healing. And this is what shaped me. And it shapes me into the person I am today. And I realized that shame stopped me from telling that story because it didn't sound like it was part of my narrative. So when I was invited by you folks to tell this story, I still kept leaving it out. I still kept letting go of it. And I wanted to just talk about who I am today. And who I am today is what Jocelyn said. You know, I have this amazing restaurant. I'm starting this nonprofit. And last Thursday was one of the best examples of life and spirit and how the ancestors move. Minutes to 12, I got on a call with my creative partner, and he shared with me that this investor was on the line and they told us how they were going to support us for the next 5 years with Sanctuary. And they gave us a base figure of how much money they were going to contribute. And something in me just felt elated. And it was just something I'd been working to for the last several years. And as I was sitting at my desk, 2 hours later, my brother called me. And he said, "Are you sitting down?" And for most of us, you know that that means that bad news is coming. And he told me that my Uncle William Henry Holder, had died that day. And so I'd had this news of investment, and then I'd had This person who protected me in my most vulnerable place in life had been taken away from me. And so for the last 7 days, I've really been praying to him and asking him what my next steps are. And what keeps coming back is that vulnerability, listening to that voice, listening to your ancestors, letting go of shame. In order for us to be our healthiest, we have to just let go of those fears that we have. And I'm learning that in such a beautiful way. This man gave his life. The ancestors gave me this opportunity to learn from him. Yes, there's profound sadness, but there's also this beauty that he is an ancestor now and he's protecting me on this next journey in my life. And so I believe that in order for me to be an effective leader to my community, to make a bigger table, the biggest table for everybody to sit at, that I have to also accept that with joy comes pain, with death comes rebirth. And that is the mantra, the thing that I get up in the morning and pray to my ancestors. I'm constantly asking them to guide me in a place that is best for my community and myself, because I cannot walk alone, especially in these times that we are in. It is a very small window and a very thin tightrope that we're walking on. So if we don't and aren't our authentic selves, we can't do the work that we're supposed to be doing for our people and the land. So I thank you for listening to my story. I ask that you give a little hand wave to William Henry Holder. And I also dedicate this story to the 8-year-old me that got me here today. Thank you very much.